For those of you who don't know me, I am Katy Ursta. I host the Knockout Brigade. If you're in Melanie Mitro's organization, I am one of Melanie's personally sponsored coaches, and a lot of times we run these coach basics together. I have been coaching for well over 6 years, kind of coming in on that 7 years place, which is crazy to think about. So I've kind of seen it all in regards to growing a business. And so I want you to know that my goal, my job is to effectively share with you some of the tools and strategies that I've implemented and used, and of course the tools that have changed over the last 7 years as well. So before we kind of dive into everything, I want to know a little bit about you. I want to know your background, what brought you into coaching, and then just a little bit more detail too about, did you do your first post? How did it go? Or have you not crafted that post? So we're going to talk about that too. So let's go ahead and dive in. So Steph, you're in my upper left corner. So I am actually going to start with you, and I see you there in your car. So let's go ahead and get this kicked off. Do you see the unmute?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie. If I remember, your questions were, tell me again what your questions are.
Sure. So your name, what brought you into coaching? How long have you been doing it? If you launched your business yet, like if you did your first post, and if you did, what was the response? And if you didn't, let's talk through our first post, okay?
Okay, great. So I have been a coach for about a week, but I was a coach about 3 years ago. Quit coaching after about a year, gained all my weight back, and then recently decided to try again, and had followed Melanie for years, so I signed up under Melanie. So very excited. I'm in one of her challenge groups. So I did shortly after, well, it was probably 2 weeks after the challenge group got started, I did post on my Facebook page just a really raw post. I had my before picture and I did a side by side, and on the other side was a work in progress sign, and just really went into my story to date, where I'm 43, went to the doctor, was afraid of being lectured for the weight gain, didn't know what to do, and then decided to try Beachbody again, and have had a lot of success. I've had lost 10 pounds so far, and the response was outstanding. I probably had 40 comments and 100 likes. I didn't, at that time, I wasn't a coach yet, so I didn't specifically say I'm back to coaching, but I did say I wanted to support people and help them with their journey. So that's where I'm at right now.
Cool. So when was the last time that you actually posted about it after that transformation picture? Have you posted anything else about it?
Yeah, so I probably post once a day on Instagram and Facebook, and I post a lot of, like, after I work out, I'll do like a video and post just whatever tip I want to share. I have 2 kids. They're both teenagers, so I talk a lot about just like not making time for myself, and I'm making myself a priority, so I'm talking about that. And on Saturday, I posted my menu plan for the week. That's the hardest part for me. So yeah, I've been posting about once a day.
Okay. So when you do these posts, have you actually invited from your post at all?
Not yet. That was when I was on Melanie's intro to coaching last week.
Okay.
And asked that question because I'm the type of person, I want to do everything right, and I want it to be perfect. So it's been hard for me to let go and just do, but It's been working. So I've been reaching out to about 2 to 3 people a day, inviting them. I sold my first challenge pack over the weekend, so I'm excited, and have a couple of people that I'm just talking to about it. So yeah, it's going pretty well.
All right, so I'm gonna break this down for you, all right? So the very first thing that I would do is that initial post that you did where you got 40 comments and 100 likes, I would message every single person on there, and I would simply say this: hey, I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you so much for the love you gave me on the post I did. I am truly a work in progress, and I have really been racking my brain and just really nervous about putting it out there. And you can even talk about what you just said to us, that you're a perfectionist and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Like, you can even say, like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but truly this is changing my life. And it's really, I feel like I'm getting the support that I really need, and I'm excited about what's ahead. Is this something that you too are interested in, or were you just really being sweet and giving me love on my post? Do you give them like that easy out? So like, if they were like truly just like, I just want to know, I don't want to know more, I'm just like giving you love, they're gonna be like, oh, I was just loving on your post. But you'll be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if people were like, I am kind of curious about it, or I did Beachbody in the past, and they actually are interested in potentially doing more with it. So I actually think it would be a really, really great idea for you to go back to that original post. And the other thing that it does when you like hit up that original post is it refreshes it in the feed, and it refreshes you in those people's feed. So I would start there and invite from there. Now, I know if you're in Melanie's organization, you're inviting for a May 6th preseason. If you're in my organization, you're inviting to a May 13th preseason. So kind of knowing which organization you're in. And if you're like, I don't know which organization I'm in, just let me know who your upline is, and I can kind of guide you from there. So that's where I would start. Then I would also do a post that actually talks about the fact that you're a coach.
Okay.
I would do it. I would definitely do that post. So, and she gave a couple of examples on the call that she did last week. I know I gave a couple too, but I can walk you guys through a few more. I have a couple more too, but that's where I would start. Cool. All right. Okay. So Maria, I see you, girl. So if you want to go ahead and unmute, tell us who your upline is too. Sometimes that kind of helps me as well. Let's get started.
Hello, I'm Maria. Can you guys hear me? Yes, because you waved. Melanie is my direct upline coach. I signed up with her, I think, on Thursday last week.
Okay.
And like Stephanie, I was a coach like 3 years ago, maybe, with a different sponsor. And I didn't really put much effort into the business and kind of, I guess, gave up on it. I did not do it for a year. It wasn't a full year, but I decided to start again because I was following Melanie, and it's a great business opportunity. I work at home right now as a nurse for an insurance company, and I'm sedentary. I sit down all day. I'm tied to the computer. I just want the freedom to run my own business and get in shape and transform other people's lives too. I have not made a initial post yet, and I'm still waiting on my challenge pack and everything to get here. So I have not done like that initial post, but I have been inviting friends and family and talking to them, like direct messaging about that. So
cool. And then you're inviting to the May 6th one?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, May 6th starting on the 13th. Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would get ready to do your post. One post that I saw that was really, really effective that people did was when they talked about like what their goal was, very indirectly, about just wanting to get in shape for the summer. And so you are going to be working with a mentor who's been doing this for 8 years and has really helped hundreds of people get results. And she's actually been kind enough to allow me to invite, 6 or 7. I always put that like number, like that scarcity kind of thing. Like she allowed me to invite like 6 or 7 people. I know that with this program, it's designed to help people lose between 6 and 10 pounds in the first 30 days. If you want to join me, drop an emoji and I'll get you more information. So it kind of does a couple things. It's a no pressure way to say, without saying directly that you're a coach, that you're going to be focusing on you, and that you're only allowed to invite a couple people along with you, and that you're going to be focused on nutrition, you're going to be focused on simplified fitness, and you're going to be able to do your workouts in, 30 minutes a day or whatever it might be. So I would simplify that. And I don't know if I would even drop a picture with it. So if you're posting it on Facebook, I would probably just use the words and allow people to drop an emoji. If you're posting it on IG, I would maybe play around with doing it as a story with an overlay picture and doing it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So try that. And so tonight is Monday night. It would be a great night to post. I don't know, is tonight Game of Thrones or was that last night?
I think that was last night. I don't watch it, but
I don't watch it, but everybody I know watches it. So I always know, like, never post when Game of Thrones is on. So
yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was last night or tonight.
It was last night, and it was amazing.
Oh, it was amazing. I don't know. I got out of it. I was watching it like many moons ago. It was like many years ago. And it was like the part where they did things to, I think Theo was his name. And I was like, oh, heavens to Betsy, I am so out. So I just can't stand things like that. So I never watched it again. So I was out. But yeah, I've heard it's amazing. So try that. It's Marie, right? Or is it Maria? Yes. Maria.
Mm-hmm.
So try that as your first like coming out post. I would do it that way. Okay. Cool. All right. So we've got Shannon. I see you, Shannon, in the car. So go ahead and click unmute if you can, or if you need me to, just let me know because I can do it too. Oh.
Out a little. You guys hear me?
It's a little shaky, but
Okay, is it any better now?
I can hear you. Yeah.
You might want to come back to me in about a minute because Wi-Fi is going to be like choppy for about another minute or so.
Perfect. That's all right. Sounds good. I'll come back to you. All right. So I see V30, but I don't have a name. So it's the one with the little baby. If you want to go ahead, I'm going to unmute you. And then you're unmuted. So if you want to go ahead and give us a little bit of information about you, and go ahead.
So much like the other girl earlier there, I was also a coach about 3 years ago. And now I have this guy, and I'm wanting to stay home with him and not go back to work. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that is the reason why I'm trying to get this business going. I signed up with Melanie at the beginning of April now. I have not got anybody to purchase any challenge packs. So that's where I'm at. I have done my dirt list. I have done family members. And I can't seem to get anybody interested. So I've been posting on Instagram, and I actually deleted one post last night because by the end of the day, I'd only had 2 likes. So I just deleted it and then redid another challenge invite for May 6th, starting May 13th.
Okay. Did that post get any response?
I think the last I looked at it was about 10 likes this morning, so a little bit better, but I only have just under 200 followers on my Instagram.
So are you posting at all on Facebook or just on Instagram?
I post a little bit on Facebook. I have a business Facebook page from the 3 years ago that has about 2,000 followers on it, but because of the way that Facebook works, it doesn't reach those 2,000 followers.
Yeah. No, and it really is something where you're going to have to like put a lot of, you dedicate time and just that effort into rebuilding that page back up, especially if you really hadn't been posting on it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's something kind of to take into consideration as well, right? So, all right, so let's kind of like walk through a couple things and I'll kind of give you sort of my feedback. So number one, whenever we don't get people to respond to what we're doing, it's so important that we keep showing up, right? So like that consistency piece is going to really come into play. So thinking about like as a new mom, what are new mom concerns? So I would write down all of the things that new moms relate to. And it can be anything from like memes to like just, like the fact that you're on a business call and you have your little one in your arms, and just the really like why you are doing this, right? So I think it's really key too, that if you were a coach before and you've come back to it, what are the experiences that you have learned in coming back? Like, what is it that drew you back to the opportunity? Was it that you can be home? Was it that you really like were driven by the community and the culture of the dream team? Was it, like what was it specifically that drew you? So the other thing is, even if you put that post out there and you talk about like May 6th is the challenge group that's going to be coming up, what are the things that are, what are the problems that are going to help other women? Like, what are you going to help women overcome through this challenge group? And jot those ideas down. And then every day you're kind of laying out like ideas and posts that address that problem that you're helping women overcome. So for example, maybe you're helping women who've just had a baby feel good in a bathing suit for their first summer postpartum. And maybe their biggest problem right now is feeling comfortable in their own skin. How does a challenge group help you overcome that? How does, the nutrition that you're following, how is that really simple? So if you do have a little at home, how can you still make sure that you're getting the nutrition you need as a mama? So just think about like every problem that people have, how your challenge group is going to help them overcome it.
Okay.
And that's your content for the week. So really being consistent in that messaging every day. So yes, you put your challenge group post up, perfect. Now we're going to back it up with sort of like text evidence, so to speak, to make sure that we're really doing the things we say that this challenge group is going to do. And we do that by sharing our own experiences with it.
Okay.
Okay, let's start.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. All right, Shannon, do you want to give it a go again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was a coach for about a year and a half or so, and then I kind of took a step back. And my body was wreaking havoc. So I felt like I really needed to focus on myself, but I still used religiously Beachbody. And I think that's what I made my brain trying to figure out, okay, how can I be different than everybody else? And authentic at this time. So, on days where I felt like absolute crap, excuse my language, but I felt really bad, I decided to use yoga or, Shakeology and yoga or, something that wasn't so high impact, but something that my body totally needed. And I actually posted something along this line probably about, I think it was about a couple months ago. I felt really bad, and running has always been my go-to. I've been super athletic pretty much my whole life, and running is just like my main gig. So I went for a run, came home, did not help whatsoever. And then I did yoga, and I kid you not, I had to wake myself up. I was snoring at the end, and I felt like almost 100% better. So Beachbody has helped me in so many ways. This is 5 years. Just my with the silk. I needed to kind of differentiate the two, but so many people in my town know me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of tricky.
Okay, so you were choppy.
Posting isn't really okay.
It's a little choppy. So I think I'm kind of reading between the lines a little bit, and you can shake your head yes if I'm along those lines. But yeah. So one of your concerns is that it's a small town and you know everybody?
Yeah.
And that you're like worried that your clients won't be like interested because you don't want to oversell to the people that you know, right? That's kind of what I'm getting from it. Yeah. So I hope you can hear me okay, but if not, like no worries, you can always come back to the playback. So
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know. It's just super. I think you're driving though, and I think that might actually be part of the issue. But here are my thoughts when it comes to, living in a small town or not wanting to sell to your friends and family. So number one, if you really do believe in what you have to offer, like if you really do believe that this could impact someone's life, it could change someone's life, it could have a positive impact on someone's life, there is no shame in selling it. You are not selling something that you don't believe has the power to impact someone. With that being said, when you're growing your business, the people that are in your direct circle, they're only going to give you so much business. So it is about extending your market past those initial few people. That doesn't mean we overlook them. That doesn't mean that we think that they aren't going to be great clients, because they will be. It also means that we're very aware of how we're growing on social media, which means that we're putting that conscious effort into growing our Instagram account. We are, and we'll talk about this throughout the month on Coach Basics, how to really grow your Instagram. We are going to talk about growing our Facebook following. We are going to talk about like referrals, or if a friend isn't interested, like how to maybe ask your friend for referrals. But I don't want us to overlook the fact that some of our best clients are the people who already know, love, and trust us. So I really, really want to emphasize that even though there's a fear of selling to the people that we know well, that is a fear that we have to work throughout the first month of coaching. And it all comes down to what we talked about on the call last night or last week. It is that belief. It is belief that you can be successful at this. So that first step is that initial conversation. That first step is asking the people who would buy dirt from you. It is asking the people who love you and trust you. It is asking the people that you truly want to help change their life. And so for me, those first couple people were my husband, who lost 30 pounds with the products, and a very close friend of mine. And I came at it from the perspective of, hey, listen, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going all in with it. We're going straight to the top. I want you to be in on it with me. Is this something you want to know more about? She just so happened to be someone who was interested in weight loss, just like me. We had done Weight Watchers before in the past together, so it made sense. But I think we guard ourselves and say, well, I might fail at this, so I don't want to invite someone into it if I don't really believe in myself enough that I can help them be successful. We got to navigate through those insecurities and those fears so that we can start putting it out there for those initial sales. And here's the deal. Your first initial sales matter big time, because those first initial sales are going to help you build your confidence. And so what if your first sale was your husband? So what if your first sale or coach was your mom? If that's helping you grow this business in a very small way, why not? So we have to start focusing on ourselves to get over that initial fear. And how do we do that? Personal development is key. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It was the very first book that I read. And it was all about doing these small, seemingly insignificant things every day that really built my business and moved it forward. Those things that other people were really overlooking, like the invitation to my friend, like the first coach sign up being my husband. And I was doing those little things every day. And I had a vision too for what I want my business to be. And so if we haven't thought through that, and I know that a couple people on this call said, I was a coach before and then I stopped, we have to address why we quit before. Okay, we have to get clear on that. It's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So going back and saying to yourself, what stopped me before? So that when you see the habits of those things happening again, you can stop them in their tracks. You can say, all right, maybe the first time I quit was because I was really too busy. Okay, if that's the reason that you quit the first time, what are you going to do this time so you don't quit? What are you going to do to make sure that you understand it's not, like that you'll just magically have time. You're just going to know the skills and strategies it takes to make the time. So we're going to think about those things too. But as for selling this, you cannot be afraid of offending because of what you have to offer. But I always approach it from the standpoint of, I believe in this. I know that it's changed my life. And I very simply put, would think I'm a jerk if I'm not offering this to someone else. And for those of you who maybe are coming back to the coaching industry, leading with that and saying, I really was looking for another solution that didn't take as much time, that was easier, that was guaranteeing results in quick, or that I could do on my own. And then what did you learn through the process? You see, when we own it, when we own our story, no matter what it was, it can't define us. Like, it can't. So own the fact that maybe you didn't stick with it the first time. You'll probably be surprised how many people didn't stick with it the first time. And you'll probably connect with people in that way. But there's a confidence that has to come with it. It's in what you do, what you're doing, the process of the challenge group, helping people get results, seeing the containers work for you. All of those things are going to make an impact. So I don't know if I really answered the question because I didn't really hear it. So I'm so sorry, Shannon. But if I did, or if you think of the question later, just put it in a message thread in that Coach Basics, and we'll make sure we get it answered, okay? Perfect. You're welcome. Amy, I don't know if you can chat, but if you want to unmute, perfect. I see a little bit of you.
Can you see me?
I got
Sorry,
you.
I had it sitting down.
Cool.
I'm Amy, and Ronnie Jo Burns is my upline. I just signed up with her, I don't know, about a week or so ago.
Okay.
So I'm brand new. I've never coached before. So I'm kind of starting my own journey with it, with the working, the whole program. I've actually been using the products though for about 9 months, I guess, 8-9 months.
Cool.
Off and on. Unfortunately, I didn't consistently do it. So now I'm really starting consistently with myself. And so I don't know. I had a call coming in. Okay. So I'm pretty much brand new. I haven't really made any posts necessarily. I mean, I've kind of very general, me, working out and starting to focus on myself and making my health a priority and stuff. So, but I think too much is part of my problem. And so I haven't really made a, post yet to invite.
Okay. So first of all, you have an amazing coach. I love me some Ronnie Jo. And
yeah.
So first things first is you want to have a discussion with her about when her challenge group is going to be. So what you're specifically inviting to. So if for me, it starts on the 13th, but I don't know when Ronnie Jo's starts. That's the first thing that you're going to invite to. So I would consider a couple things. I would consider doing a side-by-side transformation. If you have one, if you've been using the products, put that out there. Give people a little bit of the clues as to what you're doing, but then extend the invitation and say, my coach has really helped me and mentored me through this process of losing X amount, or gaining my confidence, or whatever you feel like you've really achieved. She has invited me to invite 5 of my friends into our next online virtual community, where we're going to be focusing on at-home fitness. We're going to be focusing on simplified nutrition, and we're actually guaranteed results, so we can't lose. Is this something that you want to do with me? Drop an emoji below. Okay. And that's how I would do your first post without overthinking it. Send it to Ronnie Jo first and show it to her. And then the two of you kind of say, all right, this looks good. Let's post that. And then once you do that first post, then it's really putting out some breadcrumbs on social media, on your Instagram, in your stories, on your Facebook, of just what life living healthy looks like to you. So maybe it's that, you know, instead of driving to the bus stop to pick up the littles, you're actually walking to the bus stop to pick up the littles. Or maybe it is that instead of having, you know, white pasta for dinner, you're showing people like your butternut squash with the healthier alternatives. So you're actually showing up and you're giving value to people, or you're going live and starting to share what living a healthier life actually looks like and walking them through that process. So you're going to start there. Like that's how we're actually going to start on social media.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, I had a question and now I forget what it was.
No worries.
Oh well, if I think of it, I'll ask you. Okay,
You
that's
can
what
also-
I'm getting. Oh yeah, I did start my, like, this is kind of funny. I mean, I've been on Instagram for a long time, but I have never done an Instagram story ever.
How'd it
And
go?
I did start one this morning, and I sent Ronnie Jo a message, and I was like, seriously, look at my Instagram because it's really dumb. And she's like, no, it's not. It was short, but I just did a little clip of my workout this morning, and then a little, I don't know, one of those super Zoom things of me and my son, and then I don't know what else. But it was short, but I at least started it. Because
Yeah.
I've never done one before.
So what I would do is I would have all of you guys actually give each other, or in the chat bar, write down your IG handle. So you guys can kind of see each other's feed, because you're all at the same spot really in your business where you're really just getting started. So you guys can give each other tips and feedback, and you guys can say like, hey, this was really going well, and you can support each other too. So I would actually connect by putting like your stuff in your IG handle. So you guys can help each other out with that too. So yeah, cool.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I think Leslie, I think that's you. Hi, Leslie. I don't know if you can hear me. You might be.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry, I had to unmute.
That's okay. I didn't know if you were at work today, so I didn't want to like.
I am, but it's okay because I'm actually driving to court, so I have like 15 minutes of time.
You have like a little bit of time. Okay, so Leslie, give us the scoop where you are in terms of posting and your upcoming challenge group and everything like that.
So I mean, that's what I'm good at. So I can post all day, every day. That's what I think become really good at doing. So people have a glimpse of what I'm doing as far as fitness and health and wellness, but also just everyday life, connecting with followers. So I have that going. Where I'm, I guess, doing better at, but still need to improve is inviting to people that I don't know. Because I've kind of, I haven't fizzled out my warm market completely, but it's still not, I mean, it's not a wealth of people right now. So I've been just getting a lot of no's. So getting past getting the no's is what really I need to work on. And also like closing. And I did see, I think there was like a video on closing, or maybe it's coming up or something, like a video on closing or a talk on closing. Closing is where I need to do better at. So I can I start the initial conversation, but there's no one purchasing or signing up after I start that conversation. So that's where I need to improve.
Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack sort of in what you mentioned, but I think the call that you're talking about is our call tonight with Jen Guthrie at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So those are posted in the team pages. She does an amazing job at what you're talking about. And she posts, she's a great poster. She does share content really, really effectively. And I love that about her. But she also converts. And so sometimes what I find helps is when I actually address the topics or the problems that people are having right in my initial post. So I'm actually talking about the objections that I get or the issues that I have. And I even did one today on my business page about, in my IG page, about just objections that I get about not having enough time and not investing in yourself. So I take what people tell me in our conversations about why they can't do it, and I just put it out there on social media. Like I just say, this is the objection that I get. And I overcome them right there, because I know that if I'm getting an objection personally in conversation, somebody else is thinking it, they're just not coming out and saying it. So I kind of work my way through those objections that way. So that's the first part to unpack. The second part of what you said is just that, like, you'll have the conversations, but keeping them moving and flowing is also how many people you're inviting. So really saying, okay, Leslie, how many people am I truly inviting to this opportunity? And it really is going back to your tracker. Like, are you really focused on your tracker? Is your tracker something that you're engaged with every day and that you're using? Because I find that if I'm getting a lot of objections, I feel like I'm getting a lot more objections when I'm not keeping up with my tracker. So I think that's the other piece, is that it's not just about posting, but it's the behind the scenes work that you're doing to really, really focus on helping more people.
Yes, I definitely need to. I was on the call last night with you, and inviting 5 people a day is like crucial, and I need to really, I mean, exceed that number for sure, because I know that the more people that you invite, the better chance that you have of, getting I know with you. So I definitely need to meet at a bare minimum the 5 people a day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you're no different, and I know, like, you're super, super busy too. You have a demanding schedule. And so it really is like really looking at your schedule and saying, okay, what do I want with my business? Get really rooted on what you want this business to do for you and what you want out of it and why you want to grow it. And once you're really, really rooted in that, it becomes easier to actually start doing the activities that right now maybe are like they're kind of like a negotiable for you. Like, you're like, me, if I have time, I'll do it. And you're posting, and that's that's great. Like, you're posting, but that doesn't count as the invitation. And I feel like that's just one of the biggest issues that coaches have, is taking it to the next step, which is actually putting the content out there. Yes, but having the conversations on the back end with people who've responded, people that you need to follow up with, and that kind of thing too. So, yeah. All right, so the next thing I just want to go over with you guys is really tracking your business. So I am really good. Hold on, I don't have it up. I almost said I'm really good. That's not what I meant. I am going to pull this up from last night. I showed it. And this is going to be the business activity tracker. I am logging in to my Coach Online office. Hold on one second. Make sure you log in. I swear I have to put in my password 3 times before it lets me in. So we are gonna go into the getting started, first 30 hours. See, coach action plan. That's not what I want. Not what I want. Sorry guys, hold on one second. Got it. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to show this to you guys. So this is the business activity tracker that you guys see right here. So this business activity tracker are all of the things that we can break down to do on a daily basis. Now it doesn't matter what you use as a tracker, if you do it on paper, if you do it on the computer. I personally use the Rise Up Planner, which works a lot like this, but it helps me kind of keep it with me in one place. It's just a book that I got on Amazon as opposed to just the tracking sheets. but this is the one that is given to us. So what I do is I just get really, really focused on the activities that I need to do every day. So number one, we need to be proof that the product works, right? And that is truly just our own health and fitness journey. That is being focused on working out. That is focused on drinking our Shakeology or our performance line every day. And knowing that the very first thing we need to do is serve ourselves before we serve others. The next thing is really where it comes into connecting, inviting, and following up. So initiate connections and add followers. So that is growing our Instagram. That's putting out content on social media. It's actually connecting with other people on social media. So if you put a post out there and it's getting likes and it's getting engagement, you're going back and you're reciprocating that engagement by connecting with them as well. Every day I do one social media post a day that showcases that benefit of a healthy lifestyle or has a call to action. So in some way I am highlighting what I'm doing as a coach. The next thing is your IG, Facebook stories, and I just show those couple things that really highlight it. And I'll just check these off as I go. And anytime somebody likes, they view, or they're commenting on my stuff, I am actually engaging back with them. Then I go back to some of the conversations that I've had or the polls that I've created, and I directly invite people to know more about what I'm doing or what I'm inviting to. With the people that I have recorded their names down and I've sent out an invitation, if I haven't heard back from them, I am following up. And every day I am checking these things off the list, all right? So then it also is getting people results. Contributing in your challenge group. Whether you're leading it or you're part of it, you're in there and you're a participant in it. Recognizing the achievements of your challengers, if you have coaches too at this point, recognizing their achievements as well. And then responding to your general daily questions that you might get. And then lastly is the personal development. And for me, at my very beginning, it started with Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect. And then it's the other book that I read at the very beginning was called Go for No. And that book really helped me focus on getting more no's, which of course leads to more yeses. And so every week I just record like my weekly business results. How has it grown? The number of new followers, how many challenge packs I sold, how many coaches I brought in. So I'm recording all of that. And I also write down the names of the people that I have actually contacted, and in it, not in a like just liked or commented on their stuff, but I've actually connected with via private messenger, via email, via like Facebook, that I've really felt like I can move on to the next conversation with them about what I'm doing. So that is what your tracker looks like. But do you see why it's so key? So we know that whether we're following Ultimate Portion Fix or we're following 2D Mindset, the key to those programs is tracking, because tracking is going to reveal our trends. The trends are going to reveal the truth, and the truth is ultimately what's going to lead us to results. So we want to make sure that we are really helping our people get results. We're helping get results in our business, but we're keeping track of what we're doing and what we're not doing. So we want to make sure that we have a tracker out there as well. All right, let me see. Do you guys have any questions about the tracker part of it? No? Yes? So we want to make sure we get that started as well. And then the last thing, our goal is to make sure that we are inviting, and that we have at least 3 people in our first challenge group. So when we're getting ready to either create our own challenge group or market the one that our coach is running, our first goal is going to be at least 3 people at the minimum. So we know those first 3 people are going to help us hit our first goal of Success Club, which is our benchmark in our business. And we're going to sign them up just the way that we signed up as well. So that's our first initial goal. I know that we have a couple of people who have sold their very first challenge pack, which is super exciting. So that's what our focus is right now. All right. Okay. So this week, let's focus on putting good content out there on social media. Let's focus on our coming out post if we haven't done it yet. Let's make sure that we're showing our upline, what our first post is gonna look like. Get that out there. Once that is out there, let's follow up with those conversations with people and ask them if it's something that they wanna know more about, or if they were simply being super supportive in helping us on this new business venture. So we're gonna start with that. Does that sound like a plan? Super simple. Let's break down those big goals, right? So we know where we want to go. We have our vision, we have our why, we have a clear-cut call to action on what we need to do. Break it down into doable goals every day in our businesses, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to get this recording up. It was so nice talking to you guys. Next Monday at 12 o'clock, I believe Megan Blinka is going to be the presenter for the Coach Basics, and she's going to go over those first initial conversations. So this is right in line with what Leslie was talking about too. So we're going to work on that next week. All right? Okay, guys, great chatting with you. Have a great day, okay? Bye, guys.